Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Mark here. Today I'm going to be bringing you a video of my 2003 carbon black BMW E39 M5. I actually did this video a week ago, but wasn't too thrilled about my camera work or my constant stuttering kind of stuff, so I mean I'll probably still stutter a little bit, but won't be as bad as the last video. So I'm just going to go over what I've done, how long I've had it, and things like that. You know how it is, blah 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 blah. Now I picked up the car back in September for about, well, actually I'm not going to go into price. It wasn't a whole lot. No, less than 20, let's just say that. Had 101,000 miles at the time, now has 106,600, or maybe it's 700, somewhere in there. And I've done quite a bit of work to it. Starting with the front here, I had to redo the headlights. The original headlights were in bad shape. The adjusters were both shot, not surprisingly. Xenons were both suffering from pink eye, and I mean, it was really bad. The fog lights lit up the road better than the headlights did, so they were definitely needing a rebuilding. So what I did is I took the headlights from a 2001 540, baked open those, threw away the internals and lenses from those, and then pulled apart my original headlights very carefully because the lenses were in good shape. Because, you know, the 2003 headlights aren't bakeable, so you pretty much have to destroy them in order to work on them. Kept the lens and internals from the original headlights. And then I replaced the projectors with the Morimoto Evo XR 2.0s, and replaced the adjusters with odometer gears adjusters from FCP. They're plastic like the OEM, but I'm not really worried about it. It's upgraded plastic, and again, I got it from FCP, so I have a lifetime warranty if it breaks again. Then I removed the original US spec OE orange spec corner. I can't talk today. Replace that with this piece right here. This came from DJ Auto Lens, and yeah, put it in there and replace the bulb, the stealth bulb for that, and give it a nice clean look. Put everything back together and resurface the headlights with the Sylvania headlight restoration kit, which works really well if you take your time with it. And yeah, it looks great. They work great now. It's nice and bright. The only thing I'd say about the Morimoto projectors is they're a little fiddly to get right, especially for, there's kind of a chance you may blind oncoming traffic, but this is one of the things you basically got to get them really low or really right. It's really fiddly, and it's one of those things I just kind of like, if I'm blinding people, oh well. Not to mention if I had a nickel for every time some dude in his little penis truck blinded me on oncoming traffic. You know how it goes. We've all been there. Moving on the rest of the front of the car, the right side fog light's been replaced. The left side fog light is still original. I'm guessing one of these got dinged up, probably broken. Not also surprisingly, the port chops on both sides are kind of also broken, need to be replaced. So that'll be a future thing. Not really worried about it just because it's one of those, get to when I get to it. Moving on to the grills here, I did replace the Kindi grills. One of the previous owners put some aftermarket brand ones on, which weren't very good. They didn't fit on very well, and more annoyingly, one of the two, excuse me, used glue to hold them on here. And you might still be able to see some right there. I don't know if you can tell. It's a little white residue in there. It was just, unfortunately, took off some of the paint, so I got to eventually go through that. But, what are you going to do? One of these days I'm going to repaint the car, but that'll be 4 or 5 years down the road. Other than that, the paint's really not that bad. I mean, you got your typical, 17-year-old chips and stuff like that. Nothing major. Some stuff on here, but, we'll get around to it. Here are the wheels here. They're TSW Thruxtons. They're a discontinued Chinese brand. I mean, they do look good, but I'm not so much as a fan of them on this car. Weirdly, a lot of people do like them. I don't know. I want to get OEM wheels eventually, the 65s, but unfortunately BMW doesn't make the rears new anymore. So you have to buy them used, and everyone wants an arm and a leg for them now. Some people are wanting like $1,000 per wheel, which is just crazy. So eventually I'll get to it. I mean, these ones might not be so bad if I get them resurfaced. They're in pretty bad shape. You got some nicks, rashes, all that stuff on them, as you can tell. The brakes were redone before I got the car, literally just like a week before I got it. Suspension is, well, you can't tell, but it's got the Coney Sports on them, but they're old. They've been on there for quite a long time, and they're definitely due for replacement. Along with, also you get the control arms, tie rods, all that stuff eventually. It's one of those things, you know, getting it to want to get to it. We got the, there's a little clear coat peeling right here, a little more up there as well. Need to replace a stealth bulb in there, kind of get that clean look. The door trim along the bottom, on the door here, I actually repainted that. Used the Rust-Oleum trim paint. Came out really good. I actually like it. I was looking to replace the little M5 emblem on there because it's starting to fade, but not for $70 a piece. No, thank you. And the mirror, yeah, it's getting a little fiddly there. It's got some rash on it. Got to maybe tighten that down. Windshield trim. The windshield not bad itself, but the trim around it, you know, the little rubber ceiling, that's gonna be due for replacement. This car did have some really, really bad aftermarket tint on it when I got it, but I removed the tint on the windows myself because it was easy, but unfortunately, the back window wasn't so easy because it was basically super glued on, and I give the place credit. They tried everything they could to get it off, but there was no luck, and unfortunately, they pretty much destroyed most of the grid lines on the back, so I'm gonna have to replace this window. And the cool thing is they didn't charge me for it. They were like, you know what, we're not gonna charge you for it because, you know, it was just, stuff was on there so well, it was really, it bumps me out because now I gotta pay who knows how much to have the window replaced, but, you know, that's how it goes. Of course, not surprisingly, I have to get this done soon as well. Moving also to the roof, the exterior, my sunroof, as you can clearly tell, is busted. I did pick up a used cassette from I think it was like a 2003 530. It was in good shape. I actually tested it, worked fine, but then annoyingly, once I put it in the car, it broke. Like, yay! So eventually I'm just gonna bend over, take it up the rear, and buy a brand new one when I get the chance. Of course, along here we got the infamous little, I don't know if you can tell on here, it's kind of bad lighting at this time of day. It's got a little bit of rust along here. And there, and the little gasket right there needs to be replaced. And the wheels right there. Really fed up. I had to actually put a new tire on there yesterday because I destroyed the other one with a pothole. Thank you, City of Portland. $280 for a new tire. Oh, that makes me mad. Moving on to the back though, so I don't get ticked off. Got a little odd little rock chip right there. I don't know how that got on there. Car has a muffler delete done by the previous owners, which I actually like. Which is weird too, because the funny part is when I first drove the car, it seemed too loud. I was thinking, I don't want to do this, I'll put a muffler on, but you actually get used to it pretty quickly once you drive it around with it. I mean, yeah, it's a little louder on startup, but, you know, on a V8 muffler delete, that's a good idea. A Honda Civic muffler delete? No. But, sorry. I also got to replace the emblem right here. It's fading. I'll have to get that done here soon. I did replace the, excuse me for a minute, I had to unlock the car. I annoyingly have an issue with my central locking fuse, so I can't use my remote. Still in the process of trying to deal with that, but that's another story. Replace the license plate lights, new BMW assemblies. I mean, they're cheap, why not? Also replace the lights with some LED ones. Look inside the trunk, I need to replace this thing right here. This little piece is pretty beat up. New battery, what do you call it? Advanced Autocraft AGM battery. It's a really good battery. 150 bucks with a discount and all that stuff. And of course, returning the core too. And also underneath, no mobility kit, just cleaning stuff in there. So one of those days, some things we'll get to. Cubby storage in here. There's not much to look at. And then over here we got the nav, which has an old software on it, which I'll get to in a minute. Sorry. Got the CD player, radio, DSP amp. And speaking of amp stuff, this car does have M audio, but as you notice, there's no M subs in here. The original ones that came with this car were blown. They were terrible. And I did have M subs for my old 540, and I kept them, but sadly, Mice got to them a couple years ago and had to throw them out. Wasn't too happy. So, luckily, back in December, not long after I got this car, my coworker's dad had a 540 himself, and he actually sold me his brand new, unused M audio subs and Bath Sound Stage 1 speakers for 400 bucks. Put the M subs in and all the speakers, and it was great. But then I guess I must have did something because I blew the subs. I know, you're thinking, how did you blow M subs? I don't know either, but they were blown, so I already have some new replacements in, and I'm going to power them with a separate amp so they're done properly, and it's a work in progress. So, oh yeah, here's a little rust in here I'm going to get sorted out. The toolkit, this is all not complete. In fact, this car had no tools when I got it. This is actually the toolkit I kept for my 540. Yes, I kept the toolkit for my 540 because I was irked. I wasn't too happy with my insurance because my insurance totaled over. Really, nothing that should have been totaled over, but, you know, that's how insurance is. Did the infamous wire harness fix for the trunk. That was fun. Moving on the rest of the exterior, I got the... Sorry, bad camera. There you go. Little rust right there that'll have to be fixed. And then more along here. Other than that, of course, there's some stuff down here. There's this one. I don't know. That's been there since I got the car. So lying here. And there's that one, which all I can say is, thank you, sis. She denies it, but I know it was her. Around the red car. Get inside the interior, show you around in there. Wish I did this when it was lighter out. Back seats, all looking nice. Pretty clean back here. Still nice and soft. Headrest. I thought the headrest needed to be, we're gonna have to be reupholstered, but I just soaked them in some Leatherique, and man, they came out brilliant. I did replace the C-pillars with some used units because the original ones were completely shattered and done for. They wouldn't even hold in place and rattled horribly. Also went with the ECS Ziza LED lighting kit for the interior. I did do the seat twist fix, but I didn't actually do the where you cut the cable or sheathing off. I replaced the cables on both seats entirely. It was annoying. It took forever because you have to literally tear the seats apart to even do it. And oh, good lord, just thinking about it makes me irritated. But the good news is, it's done, and the seats work brilliantly. The only downside is, as you can see on the passenger seat right here, it's still kind of twisted. This was actually the driver's backrest. This was originally on the driver's seat right here, but I swapped them over because, yeah, I drive the car more than anybody else is. I do have a replacement frame because that's what happened. It got damaged when the seats were so badly the frame did. I got a replacement frame from a 98 740, which had sport seats. It's literally the same part. What about a new one? But BMW wants $500 one, so no. Other than that, there's really not much else to do in the back area. I do gotta fix the little pockets here. They're coming off. All that stuff. I go to the front seat. Everything looks good in here. I did replace the bottom seat foam on this because it was all worn out when I got it. It was a very uncomfortable 9-hour drive back from Sacramento. It looks good in here, you know, just kind of keep things clean. I did have the, this would be difficult to get to, the leather back here in the dash area replaced because it was, sorry, I don't know if you can hear me, but I had the dash area replaced back there because leather was suffering from the infamous splitting. Steering wheel, though, is going to have to be replaced. It's all beat up and worn. Did replace this trim piece right here. Of course, I nicked it when I put this. I broke the original trim piece when I was putting the seats back in when I first got the car, so yeah, that was fun. Because when I first bought the car, I wanted to make sure it was nice and clean. So I just gutted the interior. Also, when I had the interior gutted, I replaced the boiler motor and resistor. Did a whole bunch of stuff, and that's how that thing got damaged on the way back in. Also replaced that one right there, the used one. I know it's supposed to have the, what do you call it, the tire pressure monitoring button thing that goes there, but I have a new one on the way. It'll be here probably a couple weeks because it's coming from Germany. Replaced the nav screen itself, the actual screen. Got it from Beamer Nav. Not the whole monitor, just the screen. $200. A little fiddly, but it came out great. And then the hair works. The cup holders, they're not original, but they do work. Of course, I don't use them because who uses them? You have this thing right here. Illuminated shifter. Little cubby right here is broken, but so is this. I actually have a new cubby and a new parking brake boot at home I need to install because this one's got it's got a rip down in there somewhere. Got the little ashtray thing where I rigged up my auxiliary input connection. Kind of cool. nice hidden spot. Stuff like that, and that, I gotta replace the armrest right there because that's all ripped up. It's just kind of one of those things, like I could get to it, but you know, get to when I get to it. And then also, I got the Ultimate cup holders. It's like 50 bucks for the pair too. I actually love them, they're great. They're so much better than having to deal with it up in that area. You don't have to worry about anything spills, it stays on the floor. I mean, granted, you risk getting it on the seat connector down here, but I can deal with it. Gonna replace the dead pedal right there. It's kind of beat up. Doesn't have the original floor mats. Didn't even have any floor mats when I got the car. In fact, it's just some standard WeatherTechs. And of course, replace the door panel speakers and got receipts for gas station, $32. Ouch. Yeah, you know, works good. You know, it's got a little color fade on there. One thing that really irks me though, something about the previous owner did again. I don't know if you can tell. See that little hole right there? That one right there? Those were wooden screws we're at. Yep, the previous owner used wooden screws to hold the bottom part of the door panel on. That made me furious. It's like, really? Do it right or don't do it at all. Moving inside the rest of the interior though. Oh, sorry about that. I feel like I'm blabbing here. Here's the glove box with the owner manual that I actually had to source from elsewhere because this car did not have its original. Did have the flashlight though, weirdly. Trying to think here. Oh yeah, let's get to the stuff right here. We got 106,660. 666. Of course, you got the monitor here. Looks nice. Software, where's it at? Come on. Except I haven't updated the clock and stuff yet since I changed the battery. Just been kind of lazy. Kind of blurry here. 4150. I believe that's, if I remember correctly, looking at the information Ryan posted on the website, I believe it's March 2005 that software came out. And the funny thing is, I actually goofed around with it. I got it set to Great Britain language, so she talks in English. Works good, you know, it does work. I can actually go somewhere. Granted, I don't really need it because I don't ever use it, but, you know, it's just kind of there for shits and giggles, as they call it. I'll show you underneath under the hood. There. Ouch. Here. Oh, come on. Lifting this thing up by the handle. Whew, more. Alright, here's the engine bay. Lovely. Little dirty. Need to get a full cleaning. But, oh god, where do I begin with this? Let's see here. Since mechanically, the work I've done on this car has been, I replaced the fuel pump, the fuel filter, fuel pressure regulator, all brand new BMW units. That wasn't cheap. Also replaced the expansion tank cap, thermostat, along with little O-rings for that thermostat housing thing. Also the sensor down there. Ow, hot. I do need to do a coolant service, especially that. Also replaced the the fuel breather valve, all the PCV hose, all the hosing underneath the plenum, including the brake booster hose that goes in the brake booster. I did actually have to replace the the fuel rail hose. In fact, I actually replaced the whole fuel rail because this hose down here, you can't tell, was actually got damaged. It was like chafing badly up against the plenum. It was literally a fire hazard waiting to happen. So luckily I was able to source an excellent condition used one and got it replaced. Also had the injector O-rings replaced when I had it out. And then new, mass airflow sensors, air filters, cabin filters, new hood struts and trunk struts. I didn't mention that. Also, I replaced the throttle position sensors, both of those, and then the camshaft position sensors. Those position sensors, those are pretty easy to replace. The driver's side camshaft position sensors, yeah, they can go bleep themselves, if you know what I mean. Other than that, you know, there's still some stuff I gotta do. I gotta replace the valve cover gaskets because it's leaking. Also, I forgot I replaced the spark plugs and the ignition coils. Got the Bremmy ones from FCP. And yeah, I gotta do the redo the cooling system just as, you know, preventative. Probably do the water pump. I did also do the Vanos seals. wasn't that hard. Place the mounts for the oil and... Well, that's kind of loose. That needs to be replaced again. That's not a very good job. I'll have to tighten that up. But, you know, everything sounds good in here. It looks nice and clean. Get this down here without... Come on. I think that's... Yeah, whatever. Alright, then. I'll give you a little clip here of the car before I end the video here. Like I said, sorry for the crappy video work. I'm not necessarily good at this stuff. But who is? Yeah, my airbag light is on because I have a faulty module. I tried to replace it with another one, but unfortunately that's also kaput, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about that. Probably just have the dealer do it. Cost an arm and leg, but whatever. Here's a little sound for you. Ooh, yeah. See if I can get a better sound from the back. Little in the back area of the exhaust here. Ooh, actually, here we go. There's a little parking block right there for a hold it up so it doesn't get stuck. Oh no, you're not. Ah, there we go. Sorry about that. Alright. Now I'm going to take it on the road so I can give you some better sound clips. Let's see how this goes. Oops, sorry. Yeah, good old muffler delete. Close the hood all the way. Well, that's my video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everything came out good. So, I guess adios.